Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Guna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Guna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
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 Guna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Hare Ram 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
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 Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Guna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Guna,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Guna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Guna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Guna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Guna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Guna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Guna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Guna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Guna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Guna,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Guna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Guna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Guna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Guna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Guna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Guna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Guna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Guna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Guna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Guna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Guna, Hare Guna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Guna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Guna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Guna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Guna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Guna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram
Guna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram
Guna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Guna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Guna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Guna, Hare
Hare
Guna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Ram.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna.
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
Hare
प्रभु
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
नित्यानंद
Ram,
श्री
Hare Hare,
अद्वैत
Hare Krishna,
गदाधर
Hare
श्री
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
वासादि
Hare
गौर
Ram,
Krishna,
भक्त
Hare Hare,
वृंद हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram,
हरे
Hare Ram,
हरे
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Jai Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya
Krishna,
Prabhu
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Guna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Guna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Guna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Hare Guna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Guna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Guna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Guna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Guna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Guna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Guna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Guna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Guna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Guna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri
Krishna
Advaita
Krishna
Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Advaita.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Yes, we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So Bharat Prabhu is staying with me, so he may also join. Okay, so we'll read 6th canto, chapter 1, text 51. Tadetat षोडश kalam lingam shakti trayam mahat dhatte anusansritim pumsi harsha shoka bhayartidan. The subtle body is endowed with 16 parts. So, yeah. The 5 knowledge acquiring senses, the 5 working senses, the 5 objects of sense gratification, and the mind. This subtle body is an effect of the 3 modes of material nature. It is composed of insurmountably strong desires, and therefore it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human life, animal life, and life as a demigod. When the living entity gets the body of a demigod, he is certainly very jubilant. When he gets a human body, he is always in lamentation. And when he gets the body of an animal, he is always afraid. In all conditions, however, he is actually miserable. His miserable condition is called verse. The struggle is called sansriti, or material conditional life. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the force of material nature is insurmountably strong. Devi Asha Gunamai Mamaya Durataya. Material nature harasses the living entity in different bodies. But if the living entity surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he becomes free from this entanglement, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantide. Thus his life becomes successful. So our mind is very strong, the subtle body is very strong. Pramati balavad dridam, and very obstinate, very determined. And it forces us to transmigrate from one body to another. So it is the mind is the root cause of our material existence, and it's because of the mind we have to take one body after another. Everything in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all the senses are grouped about the mind. Shrotram chakshum sparshanam cha, rasanam granam ivacha, adhisthaya manasyayam, vishya
Krishna.
upasevati. So the mind is the very difficult, very obstinate, and there are a lot of desires, insurmountably strong desires. This mind is influenced by the 3 modes of material nature, and we have a certain mentality because of that. We have developed a certain mindset and certain conceptions about life, and everybody has that. So, to get out of this conditioning is very difficult. Only if one surrenders to Krishna. I mean, if we chant Hare Krishna, it delivers the mind, and then we say. So, before we go to the spiritual world, our mind, the subtle body, is given up by the soul, and then only the soul goes back to the spiritual, because mind is also a material element, but we have spiritual mind and a material mind. So, or the mind is, unless the mind is spiritualized, then you can't go back to the spiritual world, because there can be no material elements in the spiritual world. So this whole process of Krishna consciousness is to change the mind and change our subtle desires by chanting Hare Krishna, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. It is all to change our desires so that we can again go back home, back to God. And we are always unhappy. This verse is saying, when you get demigod body, it is very nice, right? Materially very happy situation, but still we are not satisfied. It says, in all conditions, however, is actually miserable. As Krishna says, A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Mam Upetya Kwanteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Right from the highest planet to lowest planet, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. So then why we feel happy? Because of we are in illusion. So we feel happiness because we are in illusion. And we have a wrong value system and like that. So this is the body of a demigod. Also, you are unhappy. It says he is very jubilant, but then he says in all conditions. Human body, yeah, its lamentation is there. An animal always afraid. Yeah, I have some animals at the back of my house, and I throw sometimes something. Then they're always looking here and there, like always very even the little sound, they'll run away. So they're always afraid somebody will devour them, somebody will attack them. So this is what here it is said in this verse. So only way is to surrender to Krishna to get out of this. Means abide by the instructions of Krishna. Then you can get out. Otherwise remain. Like yesterday we had the holy name. So either we struggle for Krishna or we remain in the struggle of Maya, right? Life after life. So we struggle to get Krishna or we struggle in this material world. There's two kinds of struggle.
Struggling,
Huh?
struggling in chanting. Struggling in chanting is better than struggling in 8.4 million different species.
Yeah. Struggling in chanting is better. Okay, so we should struggle. If you're not so we have to find out what is wrong with ourselves. And not with others, but with ourselves. What is wrong with my mentality? What is wrong with me? And then we have to struggle to correct it. So that's like a war, right? Because we are conditioned in a certain, what is wrong with me? So then we can find out everybody. We don't have to find out what is wrong with others, but what is wrong with me and how I can correct it. That's the constant endeavor for perfection. So if you find what is wrong with me, it should not make us depressed, but that, okay, there's so many things wrong with me, right? Sometimes we may say, oh, this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong. So many things wrong with me. But it should not make us depressed and then we just give it up. No, it is wrong, so I want to correct it. So first we have to recognize, right, if there is something wrong, then first we have to recognize. And nobody is going to tell you, because in Vaishnava society, culture is that nobody is going to, sometimes they tell, but yeah. And Guru is not there with us, nothing, no, like, no accountability, nobody to really guide us. So we have to introspect and find what is the problem with our life and then try to correct it. So everybody has their own. I mean, after we read the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, then we know what is the ideal thing, where I am, and how I can move towards the ideal. So that's how we can rectify.
I have a question that according to Sankhya philosophy, there are 25 elements. Then here it is mentioned only 16.
Yeah, sometimes they say 24 and the 25th is the soul. Sometimes they say
Yes.
17. Yeah.
So what is the...
So I think what are the 25 elements? Different elements. What have you read? So there are five.
It is yeah, this all are included,
These eight
and
elements are not included here. Bhumi, Apo, Nalo,
Uh,
Vayu, Kham,
that's
Mano.
the good.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Earth, water, fire, and ether.
Those are not included here. So we have,
so
yeah,
hmm.
so we have Gyanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and then the objects of the uh, Indriyas and the mind. So that comes to 16, and then we have the eight.
Even I think the intelligence and false ego is also included.
Yes, that is that's that all the five gross elements and three subtle elements.
Yes,
Buddhi, and Ahankar, they are not included here.
yeah. So
But
So the
this is saying about the subtle body. The subtle body has these 16 elements. So that's why the subtle body would not include earth, water, fire, and ether. Intelligence.
but
Subtle body is
in
intelligence and false ego should be included.
subtle body would contain the intelligence and the false ego, right?
mind, intelligence, and false ego that
Mhm.
comprises the subtle body.
Yes, and
So the others are gross elements, the five,
mm,
the earth, water, fire, air, ether. So
yes,
that's not part of the subtle body. So
yeah, right. So this is that is not included here.
yeah, mind is included, but intelligence and ego is not separately
Hmm.
included here.
So seven things are not included.
Yeah, eight. Yeah,
Eight, yeah.
intelligence, ego, and then the five, seven. Yes.
Hmm.
So 7
Yes.
plus 16 plus 23, right?
The others are this is sattva, raja, and tamo guna is also included. The four elements.
The subtle body is an effect of the three modes. No, five objects of sense gratification and the mind. So there is 5 plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 16. So that's 16, right?
Mm.
Objects means the sense of touch, like whatever the objects of sense gratification means our tongue has the taste. So anything that is tasty, that's kind of an object of sense gratification. Yeah, and then there is the soul. Soul is separate. So it is talking about the subtle body here, subtle body. And they should have said intelligence and ego. So that would have made it 18. And then the other five gross elements would have made it 23. And the soul would be the 24th. But yeah, we don't generally, when we act, we don't think now this is karma, I'm acting with karmendriya, this is just analytical understanding. Basically, it's our consciousness, our soul's consciousness has to change. We have to become Krishna conscious. And then when we act, then all the karmendriyas, gyanendriyas, everything like falls in place. Because if we become Krishna conscious, then with our karmendriyas, with our gyanendriyas, we'll do the right things. So, okay. Anything else on this verse? Yeah, but it's a good point that. All right, so we'll read the next verse.
So here in this verse is saying that, right, the three modes of the subtle body is composed of the insurmountably strong desires, and that desires is the cause of transmigration, right? Um, in I think first canto in some purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that it is our desire that one can keep us in this world and it can get out of this world,
Hmm.
right? Says that, like, and he explains that even you can be a great Brahma or an insignificant ant, but you cannot be happy, uh, because you try to make it happy in this like material world, temporary place. You want to be a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by this material nature. And purport in the purport it says that, like, devi he esha gunamai mam maya no, it's all harassed by this material nature, the living entities. And only one can get free from this entanglement if one can surrender to the Lord. Uh, yeah, it says that we want to be happy in this material world, but we can't be because our and we can get out because we are not desiring to get out. If we simply just desire to get out, you are saying that if you desire to get out, then um, you find out, right? You find out you struggle in chanting because at least you desire to, you want to go on that path. You want to understand that, okay, now I understand this and don't find any happiness here. So it's good to struggle here and find some ways to get out of this world, not to just keep entangled here. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and we can be,
And
why we are unhappy? Because, as I was saying also yesterday, because we are the part and the whole is Krishna. So, unless the part cooperates with the whole, unless the part serves the whole, the part is never going to be happy. Like, for instance, what is the example? If you have leaf on a tree,
Yes.
then the leaf will only be happy if it is connected to the tree, happy in the sense nourished. So as long as our consciousness is connected to Krishna's consciousness, means we become conscious of Krishna, then we'll be happy. But if the leaf is disconnected from the tree, then the leaf will not get any nourishment and it will dry up and so like that. So even sometimes you can become happy in this material world. Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate. If your consciousness is connected with Krishna, right? So the main thing is that we are disconnected. Then if you are connected with Krishna, you can be happy anywhere. Right? We have that verse. Narayana parasarve na kutashana bibhyati swarga pavarka narakeshmu api tulyartha darshina. For a devotee, it doesn't matter wherever he is, here, there. If he is, as Prabhupada says, you doesn't matter wherever you send me. If I can remember Krishna and I can chant Hare Krishna, then that's why Mahaprabhu says, I don't want liberation also from this material existence. I just want your devotional service means I just want to be connected with you. Mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatat bhakti rahiti tvai. So that is another viewpoint, how to become happy in the material world. And then Prabhupada here is taking this point that yes, material nature all, but even, yeah, still material nature harasses in the sense that there will be death. Devotees also go through all this old age, disease, and death. So material nature is in that sense harassing because you don't want it. Nobody wants all these things, cancer and all these things. So even devotees get it, right? So and nobody likes that. If there was a choice, they would not want it, right? That's why they try to cure it. So that in that way also it is harassment by material nature. But we say also that if you are Krishna conscious, then the harassment, what is it? The suffering is the happiness is
Misery is mandatory.
misery is, yeah,
Suffering is optional.
suffering is optional.
misery is mandatory. Suffering means mandatory means misery will come, death will come, old age. But how much you will suffer, that also is optional. But of course, when you have physical pain in your body, you can't say I'm not suffering, right? I mean, you're feeling the pain, but if your consciousness is out of the body, as Prabhupada's, when during his last days, he was very much in bones, and the Kaviraj said anybody like in this state of health would be groaning in pain, would be like crying out in pain. But Prabhupada was composed and he was dictating the purports to Bhagavatam like that in that state. So they are because they are above this bodily consciousness. So that also you can say. But then Prabhupada also said, don't think this will not happen to you. So we don't like to be all this kind of getting pain. So material nature will harass. Durga Devi is harassing everybody with her trident, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik and Adi Devik misery. She is piercing us so that we run towards Krishna. If we don't run towards Krishna, the trident is going to pierce more and more. So So the whole, but if you are running towards Krishna, we'll escape the the piercing of the trident, right? Because we are running towards Krishna. Then Durga Devi will let go. But if you fight with her, then it will pierce more. So that's why they say material solutions to material problems create so many other problems because you're fighting with material nature, and so in a material way, not with Krishna consciousness. So then there's one problem is there, and you're fighting, and then there are so many other problems that come up. So does it mean that we will not do any like remedy? Oh, we have to do. If you are sick, we take medicine. Like that. We take, but then there may be side effects also. That's one reason why sometimes, like Kadamba Kanan Maharaj, he said there is treatment. You can take chemotherapy and things like that. But he opted not to take because there are so many other side effects and so many other things that happen. So okay, so
So at times, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this might feel difficult to digest as well because, people who are on path of devotional service, they are facing difficulty and they might see others, who are not on devotional service, but path of, and they might be enjoying, having good time. But to that, it's all part of your karma. You have accumulated, all the pious and impious karma. So, they are just going through that piety and, whiling away that karma in their happiness or, whatever they feeling like the joy in material things. But as soon as that ends, all this is waiting, right?
Yeah, so somebody like we may say why devotees who are so dedicated they are suffering and the others who are not so in this they are enjoying. So yeah, but because there is suffering, that's why we came to Krishna consciousness. And those who don't have any suffering, they are not so they are enjoying. But Prabhupada says like that it's a illusory enjoyment. So good karma can be actually an obstacle for taking up bhakti because everything is that's why demigods are praying that we want to take birth on this earth planet because here it's a mixture of misery. There it's too much happiness. So when there is too much material happiness, then you cannot address Krishna feelingly also. You cannot take shelter of Krishna. I mean, you can, it's not like anything barring you from doing that, but generally the tendency is like that. That when the karma is good, then we get carried away by all the nice things, material nature, and till it is smashed. And some people have good karma till the very fag end of life. They are not diseased, then nothing happens, and then one suddenly they leave their body. There is no prolonged death and suffering in the hospital. They are just sitting and then they leave their body. So they have relatively good health throughout their lives and things like that. But are they Krishna conscious? Then it's the so one can be messed up and be Krishna conscious, and one can be in a very nice material situation, happy situation, and not be Krishna conscious. So
And I was also thinking in such way that one lifetime suffering is better than the many lifetime suffering. Like Krishna gave you, like, you have sufferings. Let's say we externally it appears like suffering for the devotees, but actually they are not suffering. But those who have taken up the devotional service, that person is ahead of, like, those who are not taking up the devotional service. So it may be that that person is sooner will get Krishna, and those who haven't taken the devotional service has to keep in this material world. So yeah, these are the things that we don't see because we don't see our future and past. So that also gives a hope.
yeah, sometimes they say suffering will take like prompt you to take shelter of Krishna exclusively. So that is very good. But in one sense, I mean, mostly people don't, even devotees don't want suffering, unless you're Kunti Devi, who says, "Yeah, give me more suffering." But when there is suffering, we try to correct, right? If there is health suffering, then we try to remedy that suffering by going to the doctor. So, because we don't want it, we try to find some solution. So, nobody likes the suffering, mostly. I mean, unless exalted devotees, they will get suffering, they will not even try to rectify the suffering. They just accept it as Krishna's mercy and then just move on with it. So mostly, yeah, when we get suffering, generally we try to, and it is okay. I mean, because we want to live healthy life. It's not anything bad. So yeah, and then there are sufferings due to unfulfilled material desires also, which is our own desires are not fulfilled. So there is suffering because of that. And so we try to fulfill those material desires. And then what happens? There are other problems that crop up. So that's also there. Like that verse is there. Nah? If you tolerate the itching, then you are saved from so many problems. But if you are itching and you keep scratching, then it will start becoming worse. So that is so. But we can't keep tolerating. We have to get higher taste ultimately, right? So you can't just tolerate, and not act on it, because that seems like that's Vedi sadhana bhakti. Vedi sadhana bhakti means there is a taste, as Krishna says, there is a taste in the heart. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. But you are refraining, even though there is taste in that. But when you get higher taste, then you can give up lower taste. So ultimately, the solution is to get higher taste. Refraining is good, not doing, but we can't stay on that platform for very long until you take shelter of Krishna. That's why it says, take shelter of Krishna, get higher taste in serving Krishna. Then only you can. That verse is also Yat Pada Pankaja Palasa Vilasa Bhaktya. Yat Pada Pankaja Palasa Vilasa Bhaktya. Karmashyam Gratitam Udgrathayanti. That's Santa.
तद्वन्न रक्तमतये यततोऽपि रूढा श्रोतो गणस्कमरणं भज वासुदेव.
So unless we get to that taste in bhakti, then we cannot give up. Okay. Yeah. So, and that taste does not come so easy, right? That's the thing. We have to live our life in a certain way, avoid the offenses, this, that, so many things. Of course, we do have offenses because we are not strong. That's why we spiritually. So again, it comes back to spiritual practices and again chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, so that's how we become strong. Any other comments you have?
Yeah, like we say, ahar nidra bhaya maithunam cha. So here it says that the animal is always afraid. Even the humans, which are like animals, if they are not following dharma or they're not working towards self-realization, they're also like ahar nidra bhaya maithunam samanya me tat pashubi narani. Dharmo hi desho adhiko vishesho dharmena hi na pashubi samam. Always afraid, fearful, something will happen.
Yeah, so one is to follow just out of duty, right? Because it is this is my duty as a human. And then another is to follow because you really love. That is like difference between Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So at least first we have to do it as a duty, Vaidhi Bhakti, and then it turns into loving devotional service. So yeah. So ahara nidra bhaya methuna, eating, meeting, sleeping, defending is common to both. But if this is the only endeavor of the human being, like animals also have families, they are also taking care of their children, and we are also taking care of our children. They are mating, we are also mating. We have children, they have children. They are defending, we are defending. So, what's the real difference? When Krishna is brought, now you have children, okay, now you have to make them Krishna conscious. Animals cannot make their children Krishna conscious, but human beings can, right? So, that's the difference. And so, that is ahar, yeah, ahar is same, but we can offer it to Krishna. So, Nidra is there, they are sleeping, but when they will wake up, they are just again going to eat. Where is eating? Where is food? Where is food? So when they cannot chant Hare Krishna, we can chant Hare Krishna. So we sleep to get rejuvenated, right? So that is so that we can have energy, become fresh, and again serve Krishna. So that's the difference. They are sleeping, but their sleeping is just like they are also getting rejuvenated, but then again they get up and then again do the same eating, mating, and defense. Okay, so yeah, that's correct.
Mm. There is a one thing to here in this verse is say that the miserable condition is called samshruti, right? Um, eh, there's a verse right in first canto, apana samshritim ghoram yannam vivashugrinan. It says that living entities who are entangled in the mesh of birth and death can be freed by chanting the holy name of Krishna even unconsciously, and which is feared by fear personified. Yad vibheti swayam bhayam. I think that this is a mesh, right, of birth and death. And it says that one has to take shelter of the holy name, which is not different than Krishna. So no, that's word same. I got my attention on this word. So
Sanskriti, yes. We were discussing that verse yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so anything else? We can read one more verse. The foolish, okay. Dehi agno jita sadvargo shadvargo nicchan karmani karyate koshakara ivatmanam karmanachadya muhyati. The foolish embodied living entity, inept at controlling his senses and mind, is forced to act according to the influence of the modes of material nature against his desires. What does this remind you of? Which verse in Bhagavad Gita? He is inept at.
athaken prayuktim anichem.
Papam charita purusha nichanapi vashne baladiva neoje balad forcefully. It makes me act. The mind, like what is there that forcefully makes me act against my will? Arjuna is asking.
And what is some example like that? Let's say you don't want to eat. You know, I have to fast, I don't have to eat because. But then what happens is that the food is very tasty and there is no control. So the senses and mind. And so what happens is that you are forced, even though you know internally, or when you are chanting, you know, I'm not supposed to be thinking. An inner voice comes, right? At the time you are doing that thing, an inner voice comes. Okay, don't do this. Don't look at your phone while chanting, or don't think of that thing while now you're chanting. Don't do like this. An inner voice may tell you, but we don't act on it. Even though inner voice may say, don't do this, but we don't have the strength because we are too much into that thing that we cannot say no. Like when we are eating some nice, yesterday lasagna was right. And so if you're eating nicely and then it is tasty, and while eating only you know that this is not, I should not be doing this. But at that time, because it is all in your mouth, you're getting the taste, so you cannot give it up. I'm just giving an analogy. It can apply to anything in this world. So there are devotees who are Goswamis, right? They will not do even if there is so much temptation. because they have controlled their mind and senses. So, yeah, to come to that platform, yeah, is what we want to be there at. And for some people, something is easy, some other things are difficult, right? So everybody has their whatever problem. Somebody with eating, they have problem. Somebody with eating and some other thing, they have problem. Other kinds of sense enjoyment. So because the senses are
So
pulling us
one
in all directions, like a man with so many wives, right? The sense of hearing is pulling us, the sense of taste is pulling us, all this. So one side we may be able to control better, but then other side is going like that because we'll be getting pulled. So and Krishna says even one of the senses can deviate you from the path of Krishna consciousness. Even one of the senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man of intelligence. So it's very difficult. So we have to engage all our senses in Krishna's service. Savai mana Krishna padar vindya vachanshi vaikuntha. And of course the mind first. Yeah, what you said, Janish, was Janish said something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you covered it, but yeah, gaining that spiritual strength, without that, you don't have the right ammunition to fight against all this, strays that, Maya strays you in different ways. So, um, through all, those nine processes and, constantly chanting and remembering Krishna, you will have that, you will gain that spiritual strength eventually, and then you'll have the right intelligence, um, to overcome this, and you will get answers from within. All everything, you have answers, but you just don't have that strength right now to listen
Strength
to
to
that.
implement it.
Yeah.
Yeah, strength to implement it. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's correct. Okay, so yeah, so we'll finish this. The foolish embodied living entity, inept at controlling the senses and mind. So either we are not convinced that it's bad for me, or not convinced enough that it's bad. So we think it's okay. That's another way to look at it. Or we are convinced, I mean, we know it is, but it just gives me so much pleasure that I cannot stop it. Like alcoholics, right? They know it's bad, I mean, but they can't, they become habit, it becomes like a habit, and so you can't stop it. So you just crave for it and you just go for it. Like everybody says, yeah, smoking is injurious to health. It's written right on the box. So much people are smoking. They don't know if you ask them it's bad for health. Yes, they say, yeah, it is bad. But I get pleasure out of it. It's okay. I mean, it's not going to, I mean, give any drastic consequences. So we feel like that, it's not going to give any big change. It's not going to. I have smoked so many years, still nothing has happened. So, so like that. So the foolish embodied living entity, inept at controlling his senses and mind, is forced to act according to the influence of the modes of material nature against his desires. He is like a silkworm that uses its own saliva to create a cocoon and then becomes trapped in it. So we are trapped in our. Who has created the trap? We have created the trap by our own conditioning with our own material desires. We have weaved a web around us and in which we are trapped with no possibility of getting out. The living entity traps himself in a network of his own fruitive activities and then can find no way to release himself. Bhagavatam is so directly saying that you created the mess by your own desires, material desires. Thus, he is always bewildered and repeatedly he dies. So that is why we have to cry out, right? We are in helpless. Yan nama vivasho grinan. Vivash means helpless. We are so badly conditioned that we are helpless. We can't get out of this. So that's where we can cry to Krishna, Krishna, please help, please help. As already explained, but sometimes what happens, we are trapped, but we enjoy the trap. He'll think it's nice. This trap is nice. So you don't cry because you become accustomed to the trap. So that is the power of Maya, Avaranatmika Shakti. It covers you. Even though you are trapped in material existence, you cannot see that you are trapped. And you have to go back home, back to God. That's Avaranatmika Shakti. And then if you want to get out, then Maya will give so many rationalizations. Why you should not do this, why you should. There are so many other things so important in life that this is not the main priority. To serve Krishna is not the main priority. To engage, there are so many other things. So that way also we get like subdued. And because we want to feel good about ourselves, we tell ourselves, yes, this situation is like this. What can I do? What can I do? Like Raj Bihari Prabhu was saying one time. We say, oh, I cannot come to the temple, or I'm just giving an analogy. I cannot come to, or I cannot do this service. I cannot get up in the morning. Whatever. I cannot. So he was saying that what we should say, I choose not to do this. Because I cannot means there is some circumstances that are forcing me. No, but you can still do it. I choose not to do it. So then you take some responsibility. Yes, I am choosing consciously not to do it, not to come to temple or this or whatever. So I choose. Sometimes we say, I cannot come because there is a birthday party, this, whatever. I'm just giving, there could be reasons, but we have decided consciously not to come. Like I was saying yesterday, if they say, you come in the morning on Saturday, we'll give you a free iPad. Everybody who comes and chants Japa in the temple in the morning will get a free iPad at the end of the chanting of 16 rounds. Then so many people will come. One day it's iPad, next day you give some, let's say some watch, next day you give something, some incentive is there, then so many people will come. But without that incentive, you don't feel like. So it's like that. Our mind is trapped and we are attracted. So as I already explained, the influence of the modes of nature is very strong. The living entity entangled in different types of fruitive activity. So we have to fight, with Krishna's help. But we have to have a fighting spirit. If you don't have a fighting spirit, and you always want to say, okay, it's okay, I'm okay, you are okay, everything is okay, then things will remain as is. If you don't want to make any change, then it will just go on like that. So we have to fight against the modes of nature. And at that time, we can chant Hare Krishna. Even when we are doing the wrong thing, let's say, we can pray to Krishna, please help, please. Like Prabhupada says, if you can't give up drinking wine, then at least think that the taste of wine is Krishna. Means in that circumstance also you think of Krishna, if you are not able to. And then pray to Krishna that, I can give up this wine, or whatever it may be. So as already explained, the influence of the modes of nature is very strong. The living entity entangled. Prabhupada is not saying that he's not encouraging us to drink wine, but if you can't give up drinking wine, then somehow think of Krishna. Yera kera prakarena. What is that? Mana Krishna niveshaya. Somehow or other, even in that situation, think of Krishna and pray to Krishna. So, the living entity is entangled in different types of fruitive activity. Is like a silkworm trapped in a cocoon. Getting free is very difficult unless he is helped by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we created the mess and we are now in the mess. So then we need help from outside. So we cry, Krishna, please help. But we have to struggle also. Right? Again, it comes to that fight. We have to struggle in chanting, struggle. We have to make our effort also. If I simply pray and there is no effort on my part, then Krishna also knows this is not sincerity. He's not really trying, right? For everything else, he's trying very hard. But for achieving me, he's just praying, "Oh Krishna, I want you, I want you." But he really doesn't want. You can't fool Krishna, right? Because in the heart he knows. But still, then we should pray, right? We should still pray to Krishna. Maybe Krishna will give us that understanding and the enthusiasm to make the effort. So prayer is good, but with prayer also there has to be sincere desire of in the heart, not just simply lips. The prayer is on the lips, but in the heart we are not really desiring to become free from anarthas. But we are saying, Krishna, please help me. So that's why it may not work the prayer. But if it is accompanied with a sincere desire and intensity and fighting spirit, then the prayer will work.
You give that analogy, right? Bagal mein churiya muh mera.
That is there,
I
yeah, but
remember that, right?
we may not have, but our desire may be not so intense, right? And Krishna is saying that you chant, you do this, all these things, but you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has given us the whole process. But I'm not following the process and I'm simply praying. But of course, we may not be able to follow the process because of our anarthas in our heart. So, so we can really pray, Krishna, I want to do this. So, okay. So, any other thing like to say? We'll
Like
take some.
Prabhupada gives an analogy, right? He's saying that these foolish people, those who don't want to escape, they're compared with the camels, like who relishes his own blood, thorny twigs, and he likes the taste mixed with that twig. I mean, the with the blood, and he don't realize that this is his own blood. Who thinks like that? This is sweet as honey. So, so yeah, I mean, as you were saying that if somebody not just saying cannot do anything, if someone says that no, I that person is really important to me or I love that person, but if you don't act on it, how long you can just say that I love you or I love that person or whatever, right? You have to show your love or your care or attitude towards that person. Otherwise, it's just like a
Yeah, like I want to become
talking.
free, but I will not chant Hare Krishna, right? So then I want to go back to, but I will not chant Hare Krishna. I will not make an effort. Then that's like that, something like that. Yeah, and of course there's qualities of chanting Hare Krishna also. So I want to become a doctor. That's with everything, right? I want to become a doctor, but I am not doing any study in the college, in the classes. I'm not studying, but I want to become a doctor. That's contradictory desire, like that. So it has to be really accompanied by sincere. And in Krishna consciousness, it doesn't mean we have to do physical labor, but it's internal consciousness, right? How much you really want it from the heart. So to that degree, of course, that is expressed through like service and so many. That's why Prabhupada says devotional service, not only devotion, but devotional service. So service, then devotional service is all these 9 processes of devotional service: chanting, hearing, like that.
And sometimes it depends that how deeply you're conditioned also,
Mm.
right? It's dependent. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, we can give a practical example of social media cocoon, right? We have seen that, like just scrolling, like that's not a mindful scrolling. If there's a mindless scrolling, and they just your intention is to check maybe one thing, but you'll keep getting the the notifications and new posts, something like that, and keep scrolling and there is a time trap also because you keep scrolling and the hours passed and it leaves you frustrated because I mean it's not. And then again, if you feel frustrated over how I'm like past 1 hour or so whatever, and then again you come back, the cycle repeats daily. So it's also that how deeply you are conditioned. And of course, so this is like, here's the example of silkworm and our habits forms that cocoon, right? We remain trapped in these, you know, in these habits and desires. Although you have to either, so that's, and of course it comes to that point, either you want to choose to stay there or you want to get out of that. And then you find out like, okay, how to break this, um, you know break this cycle and come out from that. And this is only possible that if we do the devotional actions, right? Chanting, prayers, services. So, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Any bhajans? Anybody?
Yeah, I was also thinking silkworm, like more you expand in this world, more entangled you become, right? So keep your life simple,
Yeah, that's the
simple
first
living and have
statement
simple.
of Nectar of Instruction, verse 2. Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking.
I think.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's all because of our material desires is that we want to expand.
Yeah.
And people get businesses and properties, and then they spend whole of their time in maintaining them, and they don't have much time. Then they say, I don't have time to come to the programs. This
Yeah.
means that they have built a bigger cocoon, that they have trapped themselves in that.
Yes. So that's prayas, we say. Over endeavor means you don't have time for your like basic sadhana and coming to temple and associating with devotees and hearing like that. We don't have that time to read the books. But we have created, so like Prabhupada says, burden of self created duties, right? So we say, oh, I cannot because this is that, so many things like that. Yeah, but we created that situation, so that's the yeah. So
And on
now
subtle level also we have cocoons like the attachments, pride, ego,
envy, so many
envy,
things,
yeah.
lust, yeah, all so many things. Correct. So only solution is chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare. Then everything will be taken care of by devotional service, right? So we say that's the only solution and the one and only solution. Okay. But as I was saying, we have to have also that fighting spirit and our effort. Okay. Anybody?
And
Go ahead.
mhm. And we are holding on to our
Yeah,
attachments.
that's the I was
We
thinking
are
the same.
clinging to the
Yeah, the guru is saying like you are holding on to the tree and you're saying, tree, leave me. You just take your arms off the tree. But because again that thing, same thing comes that this verse is saying the same thing that although against his desires means he knows this is I'm holding on to this, it's not good. I should let it go, but I don't have the strength to let it go because I'm yeah. But if you let it go, it's easy. So so if you let go of the material desires, it's easy. And that requires determination, right? We say, and the material desire sometimes keeps coming back, right? Supposing you want something, then it keeps coming back, keeps coming back. But once you say, no, I'm not going to fulfill this desire, whatever may happen, I'm not going to do this. So then, if that's the, we say like the preparation before you, like when we are chanting Hare Krishna, if you, before you say, this 2 hours I'm going to sit down and chant Hare Krishna, no matter what. So it's like a preparing your consciousness. I'm going to chant, bus, and not do anything else. Just hear. So that will help, right? We say preparation. That's preparing your consciousness like that. I'm going to chant very attentively, praying to Krishna. And we can read some prayers also, like that. So if you make, like some of you are doing Ekadashi fast, right? So you decide, okay, whatever they may cook at the temple, I'm not going to eat. But if you are like, okay, if it is goes, if I can, then I will do it. If I cannot, then I will not do it. Sometimes it happens to me, right? Then okay, then at the end of the day, you feel like, okay, Of course, I'm not saying about fasting only is the thing, but in anything, if you make a determination, you have decided and you're determined about it, then that's it. Then you don't turn back. So that should be how we should say about chanting Hare Krishna. No matter what happens, I will never give up the chanting of the holy name. So that we can make a determination.
On the very first day, you said, na, fierce determination and humility. This
Gentle,
both are required. Yeah.
gentle humility, extreme. Because if you have
Gentle
determination,
humility, yes.
yeah, or extreme humility. But yeah, because if you have determination and we become proud that, oh, I am doing it, it is like, yeah, it is my determination, I've done it, then it's also a problem because then we will think that I'm the best devotee, and I can do so much and like that. But it is coming. So if you are able to control your mind, you say, it is because of Krishna. Krishna is helping me. That's why it's possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. But when you have to do it as if it depends upon you. That's we say. Do as everything depends upon you. Pray as everything depends on Krishna. Otherwise, we'll not do our best. Uh, so we give it our heart, all out, as we say. We go all out. But at the same time, if we are able to do it, we should say, oh, it's Krishna who helped me. It's Krishna who gave me that determination. So that's why I was able to do it. Otherwise, we'll become proud. So if we don't have the humility, then it's a problem. And then only humility, but with no determination. That's also a problem. Oh, Krishna, I'm so bad and I'm not like, I cannot do this, I cannot do this. And I'm so fallen. Rupa Goswami says like that. But he's always engaged in Krishna consciousness, right? He says, but he's all the time. So that's where both things have to be there. Otherwise, just praying and like this and with no determination, then it will be just like a farce, right? Means when you try, like I pray to Krishna, please let me pass this exam, please Krishna, let me pass this exam. But I'm not doing any study. I'm not going for any classes. But I'm praying to Krishna, Krishna, please let me pass this exam. Yes, Krishna can do anything. That is there. He can pass. Mukam karoti vachalam, pango langayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. That is there. Yeah, anything is possible. But we have to we have to study, we have to follow the thing. Then mercy. Prabhupada says, I have given you my instructions. Now you follow it. That's my mercy is that I have given you my instructions. So praying without then that's like humility, but no determination to actually do it. So both are required. Yeah.
Yeah, the first step, praying, is also good. Even if you're not able to do it, keep on praying. Krishna, I want to do it. Please help me do this. Like, I remember that, when I started these calls, it was hard for me to get up early in the morning. And I would pray, Krishna, please help me get up early in the morning.
And now you're getting up,
I
up before everybody else, right? 3 a.m. So
So, at one point, definitely, it was very difficult. I felt sleepy, and I would pray to Krishna, please help me get up in the morning. But then, you keep praying, and then Krishna hears that prayer, and somehow you get that strength. So, the first step, our endeavor also implies we pray to Krishna, right? Prayer is an endeavor.
correct, yes. And pray, and then you really, really have that desire in your heart that
Mhm.
you really, really want to like. We know how intense is our desire. So when we want something in this world very badly, right? We know that. So it just pushes us, and we just like try to find a way to get that thing. Like our desire should be like Bilva Mughal Thakur's desire. These all pastimes are told and spoken about, so that we can say, yeah, our desire should be like him. Of course, he's become pure devotee. So, and urgency will give you absorption of desire. urgency will also, like, if today you were to know that today is your last day, you are going to die tomorrow, then how will your consciousness be? As much as possible, I'm trying to absorb in Krishna, right?
Yeah, and then nothing else matters.
Yeah.
All these small insignificant things that are in my mind right now, what's happening in my work, what is with my family, all these things, nothing will be significant at that point because I am going to die. All of this doesn't matter.
Maybe you will want to make a will if you have not made a will. But yeah, and give to Krishna also, right? So yeah, but the thing is, yeah, it doesn't matter. Anything doesn't matter at that point because now you have to go out of this. That's what happens, right? And once you are gone out, out means finished. The life, all that you did in your life has come to a naught in the sense that there is no now remembrance, there is no connection with anybody, nothing, not any of your material assets, not all the people around you, and you just go into some other new situation. So, so considering this, that also should inspire us to urgency. Urgency is very important for absorption.
But sometime to we say that at the when we heard about that, okay, today is my last day of my life and nothing matters. And so in that situation, everybody has to liberate actually, because if we but at the time of death, I mean, more attachment comes, more thoughts about the person whom we love or we have attachment. So these things actually an obstacle to going back to Godhead. And if anybody has this consciousness of no, today is my last day and nobody is going to matter to me, so that person comes to the point of a detachment. But this not we don't see this happening in the
Yeah,
world.
correct.
Yes, so sometimes we see that people are dying and they are just screaming that okay, somebody can save me, or like in case of Ajamil also, right? He was because of the attachment he called out his son's name, and this is common in this world. But we say that when we heard about that you're going to die and then nothing matters, but actually everything matters more than when we are alive.
So we have to practice, yeah. So that's Krishna is saying, Abhyasena tu konteya vairagyana cha griyate. So we have to practice that detachment. Internally, we have to do our duties, whatever, but internally, we have to also practice that kind of detachment. Otherwise, it will not. And that's why, according to Varnashram, right, that's the how Vanaprastha and then sannyas. So you don't remain at home. I mean, it may not be possible for us, but the idea is that at now your everything is going to go. So you are like now more focused on God. Ante Narayana Smriti. You are preparing so that you can fulfill this or you become attached to Narayan so that you can remember him at the time of death. So that is also there. It is not about like increasing attachment. There is a time when you increase your attachment, but then there is a time when you wind down also. But if you increase it, that's why then it becomes difficult to wind down because it's like, oh, you're overwhelmed by all this. So that is also there. But yeah, it's like you can, if you're going to die, you can say Hare Krishna to your family members. When my mother was going to pass away, then she has so many siblings, so she's told them, I'm going to leave, soon, and so Hare Krishna to everybody, like she just had the last meeting. It was so like difficult, but this now last time I'm meeting this person. So it will happen to everybody. Like you may have notice of your death if you know it's coming, or it may happen unexpectedly. So so we can always wish well for others, and if you have children, you can instruct them. Always chant Hare Krishna. Remember Krishna. Give some Krishna conscious guidance to your children, and then depart. Right? So everybody has to depart, and they will also depart. It's only a matter of time. When they grow up, they will also follow the same path. Everybody follows the same path. So nothing will last. So, so considering this, the situation, the bigger situation of the whole material world, then it should inspire us to take shelter of Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Because that's the only purpose we say, like, that's the only reason why you have got this human form of life, to go back home, back to Godhead. Not to settle here and increase our attachments here. So, and then come back here again. So, of course, we like to see, we have desire to love and we want to be loved by others. So there is always that there. So devotee loves everybody. But knowing that they are part and parcel of Krishna, they are also like me, spirit souls. Okay, so
Yeah. And not just I, me, and mine. These are my family members, so I love them. Those people are not mine, so I behave differently with them. So
yeah,
Vasudeva Kutumbakam, we have to come to that level of Uttamadhikari. Everybody is in my family.
yes, everybody is in Krishna's family. Aham bija pradapita. Sarva yonishu kvanteya. Aham bija pradapita. Krishna is saying. And yeah, we may have our relationships, because I may not have some relationship with some person who I never met, and like, or I met sparingly, but I may have some relationship with my close friends, and but they should also help us. So if you have a relationship with devotee, then they will help us. They'll come when we are dying, they come and chant Hare Krishna. They will give us some Ganga water, some tulsi leaf, some garland of Krishna, some Vraj Raj. Like that, all the devotees they do like that. So that's nice, yeah, to have devotees, because we are helpless in that situation. So okay.
Happy
So
at
Prabhuji, regarding
Go ahead, Prabhu.
yeah, no, Mataji, I was thinking about that regarding waking up early. So yes, waking up early. What I also heard in the lecture that if we if one determines sleeping early, that helps
Yeah.
to waking up early. So and that's I was thinking like when we determine on sleeping early, which means we have to really wind up in time all other activity. If there are many activities such as uh, nothing related to spirituality, because in a daily basis, at least in my life, I see it's a mixed bag of activities towards Krishna and activities for selfish activities. So somewhere mind start thinking I need to cut down activities for material activities so that I can sleep early. I think once that did, I think that may help for waking up early. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Like yesterday, Bharat Prabhu came, stayed with me. So then we were talking and talking, and I knew that it is going to be difficult if I talk, but somehow the talking went and we were just talking. So, yeah, that is another thing like this. You know that you should not be doing this at this time, but it just, you get, yeah, carried away. So then it has effect on the next day. So, of course, even it may be about Krishna, but then we have to have discipline also. Then otherwise, then our rounds will not be chanted next day, right? So then the rounds will drag on, and so many things will happen. Some devotees are moving with the bead bag whole day, trying to finish their rounds. Right? That's not the ideal way to chant. Then somebody comes in and then says, Hare Krishna Prabhu, how is life going? And then your hand is in the bead bag. Of course, if we don't know, we don't have to judge anybody, but they may be chanting extra rounds. But if you are just trying to like finish our rounds and just trying to squeeze one round here and there. In between, some talking is there, and then like then we are all over the place. Then there is not focused japa. Right? So that should not also happen. But it's better than not chanting. So that is also.
Right, but those type of, you should be in a secluded place so that nobody is able to disturb you. But you can get phone calls and stuff. So better to do that in the Brahma Muhurat when nobody
Yeah,
is there to.
correct. Phone calls and so many things.
But sometimes it depends on the so many other factors also. Like if you're in grihastha life, then you have other responsibilities also.
Yeah, if you have
Sometimes your
children who
kid
wake up
gets
at
sick,
yeah, if you have children who
yeah,
wake up
they
at
wake up.
night, yeah, then it's difficult.
Yeah, so that's why we cannot judge anybody else.
Yeah,
We have our own responsibility of chanting nicely. So whatever works for us, it can be
Yeah.
different from others.
yeah, that's correct.
And that's why this is not a generalized statement. I mean, whatever it works for everybody, they can choose their time from their
Yeah, but
day.
our acharyas prescribe Brahma Muhurat as a special time for chanting. So, and everybody should aspire, and maybe in some part of your grahastha life, you may not be able to do, but the aspiration and desire should be there that, yes, I want to chant during Brahma Muhurat.
Yeah, and sometimes if you have a job that starts at 6 o'clock, right? Sometimes people have even their grihasthas. It's very important to go to job, right? If your job is starting at 6 o'clock, because it becomes like a necessity. Because without that, how will I pay my bills? So then, whether you are grihastha, whatever, you will do go to your job because it's like I lose my job. That's my time to report to job. So I will do it no matter what. So, but
Mm-hmm.
for chanting, sometimes we think, yeah, okay. I'm telling
Yeah,
myself.
you
I'm
try
not
to
telling
make
it.
excuses.
I'm not.
Excuses. Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody else. I'm telling myself that yes, I can give so many things that this is like that. But if you have,
Mm-hmm.
of course, people may leave their job also if it is too much with their family. They cannot. That's why people leave their job also. But I'm just saying that are we making the same, giving the same? Sometimes they say in material life you are doing so much, so many years and so much hard work to get a degree. Are we making the same equivalent amount of effort for spiritual life to get Krishna? So that we can evaluate. I don't have to evaluate you, or you don't have to evaluate me. I have to evaluate myself internally. So then I will know whether really I am doing that like that. And if I'm not doing, then how can I do? So, because of course, job is a necessity, right? Without job, then how will we pay our bills? So that kind of thing that I cannot live without my job, I cannot live without this Japa and Krishna and this. So when we come to that platform, it's an absolute necessity. Then we can do also. Of course, sometimes say you don't have to be too hard on yourself, because if you become too hard on yourself, then it is also you'll always be constantly feeling guilty, guilt. If it's not able, but from that guilt, what has to happen is to rectification has to come. But sometimes if you can't do it, then whenever you chant, chant nicely. That's basically it. Because of your situation, you cannot chant. You have your job, like at night you have to work and you cannot get up. Then it's okay. I mean, then whenever you chant nicely. So that way also we can take it. Okay, so we'll hear the song.
Yes, I put the lyrics. तुम ढूंढो मुझे गोपाल मैं खोई गैया तेरी सुध लो मोरी गोपाल मैं खोई गैया तेरी पांच विकार से हाँ की जाए पांच तत्व की ये देही बरबस भटकी दूर कहीं मैं चैन न पाऊं अब के ही ये कैसा माया जाल में उलझी गैया तेरी सुध लो मोरी गोपाल, मैं उलझी गैया तेरी। जमुना टटना नंदन वटना, गोपी ग्वाल कोई देखे। कुसुम लताना तेरी छटाना, पांच पखेरु कोई देखे। अब सांझ भई घन श्याम, में व्याकुल गैया तेरी। सुदलो मोरी गोपाल, में व्याकुल गैया तेरी। तुम ढूंढो मुझे गोपाल, में खोई गैया तेरी। कित पाऊं तरवर की छाया, जित साजे कृष्ण कन्हैया। मन का ताप श्राप भटकन का, तुम ही हरो हरि रास रचैया। अब मूक निहारू बात प्रभु जी, मैं गैया तेरी। सुध लो मोरी गोपाल, में खोई गैया तेरी। बंसी के स्वर से नाद से तेरो, मधुर तान से मुझे पुकारो। राधा कृष्ण गोविंद हरि हर, मुरली मनोहर नाम तिहारो। मुझे उभारो हे गोपाल, में खोई गैया तेरी। तुम ढूंढो मुझे गोपाल, में खोई गैया तेरी. So this devotee is saying that Krishna, O Gopal, one who takes care of the cows, I am your cow and I am lost. Please find me. I cannot find you, but you please find me and take me back to safety. So this is similar to the past time in Krishna book, where the cows got separated from the cowherd boys and Krishna because they got attracted by green grass somewhere in the forest. And then in the forest fire happened. They were surrounded by fire. So it's like we say the grass is green on the other side, right? And to get that grass, we have come to this material world thinking that we're going to enjoy in this material world, and now we are lost in the cycle of birth and death. We don't know our way out of this. So then saying पांच विकार से हांकी जाए पांच तत्व की ये देह. So पांच तत्व, earth, water, fire, and air and ether. Yes, the body is made of. And then 5 vikars are the lust, anger, greed, pride, everything, I think. So driven by these anarthas, I have become restless. Right? पर बस भटकी दूर कहीं मैं चैन न पाऊं अब के. I am very restless. I am not finding any peace. Tudlo Mori Gopal, take care of me. Oh Gopal, please find me. And Jamuna Tatna Nandan Vatna Gopi Gwal Koi Dekhe. I am not able to see any cowherd boys, any gopis, Nandan Vat, no flowers, birds, like Vrindavan. I am away from my home. Right? This is not my home. I'm surrounded by so much difficulties and this is not my home. I'm not able to see Yamuna. But अब सांझ बई घनश्याम मैं व्याकुल गैया तेरे. Now it's getting evening time. It's getting dark. Like I'm approaching the late stages of my life, towards the end of my life. It's getting dark now. I'm becoming very afraid. What will happen next? Kit paun tarwar ki chhaya jit saje Krishna ka nahi. Means in that in the heat of this material world, where can I find shelter? Under the tree of Krishna Kanhaiya. Man ka taap shrap bhatkan ka. Bhatkan, right? So we are wandering in this in miseries. Adi bhautik, adi ras rachaiya. Bansi ke swar se naad se tero madhur taan se mujhe pukaro. So cows got attracted and Krishna had to, bring cows riding on his flute. So this cow is crying, and she get attracted to these. This is how we tap